And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Final Fantasy VI. In the last part, we reached Doma Castle, and now we are going to do something about the fact that the Empire's taking it over. Now, for some reason, after that cutscene, if you have Shadow with you, Shadow and Sabin switch places. I don't really know why that happens, but it does. So if you want, switch them back. It really doesn't matter who's in the front. Again, I apologize for all the menuing, but I'm very unorganized and all that stuff, so it would have been actually probably impossible for me to edit out all the times I'd press pause just to check my equipment and stuff. Okay, so the black belt is an item that we got in the last part, and what that does is whenever you are attacked with a physical attack, there is a chance that you will do a counter attack. So for someone like Sabin, who's already really strong, it's extremely useful, especially if you also have the Genji glove equipped, because then that's 2 attacks, then you can get attacked, and then you'll do another 2 attacks as your counter. You can be dealing up to triple or 4 times normal damage at that rate. So, hi doggy. So it's very useful. You don't have to talk to these people, but if you do, then you're treated to a fight. Soldiers, they aren't too strong, but they do have a nasty ability where once you've dealt a finishing blow to them, there's a chance that they will do an attack called Swing, which is really just a death move. It does about 40 or 50 damage or something. It's more annoying than anything else, but if you're already at low health, it could get you, so just watch out for that. Alright, so that definitely white guy in the green armor there is definitely white. But more importantly, he's General Leo. A general that all the soldiers here respect for various reasons. I mean, look, he's talking to the soldier about his family and Miranda and stuff, and saying okay, don't be reckless, don't do anything that could put you in harm's way. You have a family to get back to. He's very compassionate. He just has the signs of a true leader. He cares about his men. He even cares about the enemies. He believes that they should be stopped, but he doesn't want to destroy them. Which is why I think he doesn't really like the fact that he has to leave this area, because the Emperor just summoned him to go back to headquarters. And he's a little worried that his men might jump the gun a little bit and try and take down the castle a little prematurely. But it won't really be his men that he has to worry about so much as good old Kefka here, our favorite clown. It's so weird, they're both generals, but Kefka is so different from Leo. Leo is incredibly compassionate and caring, and just signifies leadership, and Kefka is just the spitting image of evil, really. He doesn't care about the enemies. He doesn't even care about his own men. So here he's planning on poisoning the water supply. And even though the soldier here just told him that some of their own troops are inside the castle, and it is very likely that it'll kill them too, Kefka's just I don't care, do it anyway. And obviously Kefka's a lot stronger than any of these soldiers, so, to not follow his orders would pretty much be the equivalent of death. So here we we fight, quote unquote, Kefka. It's really just, all you have to do is hit him once, and then the fight ends. He tells a little joke because he's a clown, and then you move on. And you do that 2 or 3 more times, and then actually it's either 1 or 2 more times, I should say. So in between each part, you can kind of explore a little bit. I would recommend doing that. Get some items before you get into any kind of real fight. Don't know why I keep looking at that wall. Alright, time for me to show off how unlucky I am. So, in the left box is the monster called Telstar. He has two kinds of status effect moves. One is Schiller, which can cause blind, which is actually a wasted move because, again, blind doesn't do anything. The other one is Mega Zerk, which can cast Berserk on everyone. He also has Tech Laser, which is definitely his strongest move. As you saw there, it almost killed Shadow in one hit. And I'm still trying to do blitzes with Sabin here, and I still, you know, I'm just having a hard time. Missile can be strong. For some reason, it only did 12 damage. But the goal here is really just to spam Shuriken. And if you can do your blitzes correctly, which, as you can see, I'm taking my sweet time trying to input it correctly, and I still messed up. Alright, so when the fight takes too long, Telstar rings an alarm and summons two soldiers. I'm not entirely sure if it's random what kind of soldiers, because there's two kinds. There's Templars and soldiers in this area. So I don't know if it's always just soldiers or if Templars can pop up too. Either way, it's very annoying. And as you can see, I've given up on blitzes. Just going right for attacks. And that's annoying, because so I defeated him, and then he countered. No, how did it work? Okay, he attacked me, and then I dealt a counter, which killed him, which then triggered his counter against me. It's like
20 minutes later.
It actually did take me 20 minutes, because I did not save before I entered this camp, so I had to redo that whole section of getting Shadow in my party, buying shurikens, getting down into the camp, going through all those cutscenes again, blah blah blah. It actually took like 20 minutes. And again, I guess I'm just, you know, unlucky with monsters, but I'm lucky with Shadow, because again, Shadow didn't leave my party, despite the fact that he's supposed to have a chance of leaving with every fight. But it didn't happen. Also, this time I got a little lucky because even though it's a monster in a box, I got a preemptive attack, which means I get to go first regardless. So that gave me a little extra time to deal some damage. And I finally got an Aura Bolt off. But now that Sabin's gone Berserk, he can't really do any... I can't do my blitzes with him anymore, but his physical attacks are much stronger, so it's kind of a win-win. You see how easy that was? Ugh. Anyway. Your reward for beating the Telstar is the Green Beret. Pretty nifty piece of equipment for... a lot of people can actually equip this. I'm going to equip it to Sabin, though. The added benefit besides the defense is that it also increases your health by 25%. So we don't have a whole lot of health right now, so that 25% boost probably doesn't look too big of a deal. But later in the game, when we start getting like into like the 1000 HP range, that like 25 health turns into like 250 health. So as you level up, your bonus HP will also increase if you have the Green Beret equipped. So that's nice. Alright, doing this again. And to be honest, I don't know if I've ever seen Kefka actually attack me during this section. I didn't even think he could. He actually did a pretty decent amount of damage too. 55 is a lot more than what I would expect him to do for this quote-unquote fight. Alright, one more time. Alright, so now we're introduced to Templars. They're pretty much just slightly stronger soldiers. They also have a death move called, I think it's just called Axe. Hey, good job, Sabin. Yeah, just a little strong. He did like 6 points more, but it's not. They're not much of a bigger threat than the regular soldiers, but this axe move is quite a bit stronger. It does like 20 points more. There we go. Aura Bolt, thank you. Aura Bolt, probably my favorite. Did I ever say that? I don't know. I had to record this twice because the first time it messed up, so I don't know what I already said. But in the event that I didn't, I'm going to say it again anyway. Aura Bolt is like my favorite blitz at the moment because it's wholly elemental. It's really strong, and it's pretty easy. It's a pretty easy blitz to use too. If you've ever played Street Fighter, it's just the Hadouken. Alright, but here comes Kefka's, one of his most evil moments in the entire game. The poisoning of Doma Castle. The only thing that, and I don't know if I'm the only one that gets confused by this, is how quickly this poison takes effect. Because these guys are standing all the way up here, and they're getting knocked out. So I don't know how much time has passed in between when Kefka poisoned the water and what's happening right now. That guy's super dead, by the way. He totally fell in the poison. But anyway, I wouldn't think more than like 20 minutes would have passed because Sabin and Shadow are still in the camp. So, I mean, logically, it kind of seems like a whole day would have passed and, the poison got in their system and now they're dying. But I don't think Sabin and Shadow would have just stood next to Kefka for like a whole day and just watching him poison the water. So my best guess is like 20 minutes maybe. I don't know. So maybe there's maybe when the water, like as it evaporates, it releases the poison. That's the only thing I can think of. Anyway, I talked way too long about the poison, by the way. Anyway, here's the King of Doma, and he's definitely poisoned, and he's gone. Well, the king's dead. Something that the king mentioned, though, is that Cyan has been around since his father's time as ruler. So Cyan's probably, if you look at his like little menu picture, he does look like he's probably about maybe in his 50s, mid-50s maybe. So pretty old for a fighter. But that just goes to show how strong he is, really. But the bad news is not over yet, unfortunately, as Cyan's family also did not make it. Yeah, so Elaine, his wife, and Owain, his son, both suffered the effects of the poison. And as you can imagine, he's a little angry. So he's going to go on a rampage now. That scene really just kind of like, moves my heart, because it's just like, wow, like this really just shows how evil Kefka is and what he's willing to do just to cause pain, because I don't think he cares about following orders. And we'll definitely see that later, that he doesn't care about that. He just wants to cause pain and suffering, and he'll do whatever is necessary in order to achieve that. And unfortunately, innocent people like Cyan's family have to be caught up in that mess. So because he's incredibly angry, the game is actually in control of Cyan right now. You don't have any control over him. He's just gonna attack. I don't know if what he does is random or not, but you have no control over him, and that's the important thing. He also has, it acts like he has a black belt equipped, even though he doesn't. So when he gets attacked, he'll do a counter move. Alright, I think we got one more of these little fights, and then we're gonna snap Cyan out of his little rage. You notice that the names of these enemies are actually different too, for some reason. We got Cadet and Grunt instead of Soldier and Templar. Even though I'm pretty sure they're the exact same enemy. I don't think they do anything different. Okay, there we go. You also don't get any experience for these fights, but that's okay. We'll get more later. Alright, so, Saiyan is understandably very angry, and he wants revenge, like, right now. Which is the normal reaction. I think anyone who went through that, who's also, a warrior like he is, would reasonably want to strike back immediately. But, we can't take down the whole army just by ourselves. Especially since Kefka is here somewhere, But, lucky for us, there are some Magitech suits. They'll help us escape the area so we can figure out a plan of counterattack. You see, Shadow found his own armor down here. He's still with us. And again, it changed our position. I don't know why it keeps doing that. So now is the time to equip your relics and whatever you want to Cyan. I believe I'm going to give him the Hyper Wrist. Yes, there we go. I'm still trying to figure out what Vigor does. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. I'm thinking it might, I don't know. I'll have to look that up and talk about it next part, because I don't know. But now that we're in the Magitech suits, we're extremely powerful. We have access to most of the... Well, actually not most of the attacks, but some of the attacks that Terra had. We have access to the beams. Obviously, Terra had a lot more abilities because she also knew magic, so I guess that like enhances the Magitech armor's abilities is if the user actually knows magic. Yeah, we got a couple more of these squabbles here and there, but none of them are a threat, especially this one, because you get them. I mean, I got them in a pincer attack. I don't know if it always happens, but it really doesn't matter. None of these guys stand a chance. And you can use whatever beam you want. I usually just stick with Fire Beam and just spam A really quickly. Just keep hitting the A button. There we go. Come on. I think this is the last one. 2 Magitech armors, and they're still not a threat. These guys might be weak to Thunder Beam, but as I've said like 100 times, they'll go down with one shot with a Fire Beam too, so it doesn't matter. Alright, there we go. Finally gonna get out of the Imperial camp. You gonna move? Okay, never mind. Yeah, it's probably a good idea to save once you get out of that, because if you happen to die at any point, then you'll have to do that whole thing over again. And while it's not difficult, it's time consuming. So, you know. Yes. There we go. Thank you. I don't know what the heck I was doing while I was recording this game. More stray cats. I think I mentioned how important these guys were in the last part when I encountered one. But just to reiterate, they're important, and I'll bring it up. I'll bring up why in a future part. But do yourself a favor and just walk around. If you haven't seen one yet, just walk around a little bit until you find one. Because just trust me, it's good. I'm not going to spoil it yet, but it's a good reason. Anyway, that's Doma Castle over there. You actually can't do anything over there. The Empire has control over it. So we need to get away. And the next area is right here, the Phantom Forest. Here you can encounter ghosts. They like to cast fire. They'll either do single target or multi-target, whatever they feel like. They're not really much of a threat unless you find like 3 of them in one shot. No, not right there. And if they happen to get you like in a pincer attack, that might be bad. because then they'll all cast fire before you get to make a move, and that can cause some damage. And just to reiterate, you don't have a healer with you, so you have to rely on potions. So if you didn't stock up on potions or tonics or whatever, a formation like this, especially a pincer formation, could really do you in. This is why it's also very important to buy as many shurikens as you can hold, because they're quite a bit stronger than Shadow's normal attacks. You could have also bought some of those, like Water Edge or Water Skeins or whatever. Basically, they're just elemental throwing weapons, and they hit everybody, I think. They hit all the enemies. I usually just stick with shurikens, though, because they're a lot cheaper, and they're just as effective. But hey, a trade. Yes? Yeah, get moving. I like how old-fashioned Cyan is, too. Like, he says, sir, and thou, and hath, and all that stuff. Kind of sounds like, even though I think he's based kind of like on a samurai, the way he talks kind of sounds like he's from Europe, in like the Middle Ages or something. He's very respectful, I guess, is what I'm trying to get at. But hey, now we're stuck because the train's moving. And Cyan knows this train. It's the Phantom train. Whoa, I can't talk. It takes departed souls to the afterlife. So we definitely don't want to be here when it reaches that destination. Got some more enemies. Whispers and hazers. Which one's the whisper and which one's the hazer? I don't know. I think the ones that are flying up there are whispers. Yeah. Yes. They are the... Oh no. What did I say? Oh, I don't even know anymore. I'm so confused. Anyway. The whispers can cast a gravity spell, which is not... It can't kill you, but it's based on how much HP you have. So, again, while it can't kill you, it's really annoying to see you go from full health to half health. Again, you don't have a healer. You have to rely on those potions. And if you let them attack you too many times, you're going to burn through all of them really quick. So, get those guys out of the way. The other guys try and use Drain or Osmos or something, and it almost never... I don't think I've ever had it succeed on me. They always, like, miss or something. I don't know what this does. I don't actually know if this is required, but I always do it anyway. Here we see Cyan's not much of a tech genius. Yeah, he's a klutz. Okay, make sure you heal up when you use a tent, actually, I guess. Or save it. I think I save it. Yeah, whatever. But that is going to be it for this part, guys. In the next part, we are going to explore the Phantom train, and we're going to kick some butt. So stay tuned for that. And I will see you in the next part. Have a great day.